Yeah, so I just thought I'd get you to watch some bits from Suits, and I might ask you some questions or just see if it's...
Obviously, it's American, so they have a slightly different system. And it's not family. Harvey is all commercial.
Yeah.
But I'll do my best, Paddy.
Do your best.
That's my way.
Mr. Evans, is it true that you were living with Mr. Ross in and around the time he claims to have attended Harvard?
Yes, we shared an apartment at 5307 Huntington Boulevard in Brooklyn.
And how exactly did he pay his rent?
He worked as a bike messenger and made money on the side taking the LSATs for people.
Oh, wait, I'm confused. Why would he have to resort to that if he were a college graduate?
Because he wasn't a college graduate.
What? You mean he never graduated from college?
No, he was kicked out of college for cheating on a test.
Well, isn't it possible that while he was living with you, he went back to school and completed his degree?
Well, I don't see how, since most of his spare time is spent sitting around smoking weed with me.
Well,
out of interest, is that normal for, like, it feels like they're pairing up, like the person on the chair and then the person asking the questions? It seems like it's just a leading question and they already know what they're going to answer.
But I mean, I don't know who the witness is for there, but in cross-examination you can ask leading questions.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
It just sounds like it's just, this is the answer and we're just going to go a long way around of...
Yeah, and I mean, the way she's asking the questions, it's, you know, it's designed to strengthen her case.
Okay, right.
let me get this straight. Before he was employed at Pearson Spector, to the best of your knowledge, he worked as a bike messenger and a part-time LSAT imposter?
Yes.
One last question, Mr. Evans. Is it at all possible that Mike Ross ever attended Harvard Law School?
I think it's her witness, if I'm completely honest with you.
Yeah.
The way that she is questioning him. But we'll see, because, I mean, Harvey will get up. Maybe she is actually... in England, we have evidence in chief. So you'll lead the evidence first, if it's your witness, and you'll get them to confirm and put their side of the story. You're not able to ask leading questions. Then if Harvey's going to get up, then the second part is cross-examination, and that's where you can ask leading questions. Okay. So that wouldn't be allowed in the UK, now that I've seen a bit more, if that is her witness.
Okay, right. It is. That is her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not unless I had a satellite campus at 5307 Huntington Boulevard in Brooklyn.
Mic drop.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Like, all
she
that...
looks well pleased with herself,
literally,
doesn't she?
Does that obviously wouldn't happen normally?
Well, no, because in England, we don't walk around the courtroom like that. We stand behind the bar table, and you stand up and you sit down, and you stand up and you sit down. And, you know, you'll notice in court that, let's say, if I was standing... and then my learned friend stood up, out of respect, I would sit down.
Right, okay.
And then if I stood up, they would sit down. And it's a bit like that. We don't walk around parading like that.
Yeah,
but then you see, in the States, they don't have the solicitors and barristers role. The lawyer does it all.
Right.
Given that you smoked all this pot, Mr. Evans, isn't it possible that if Mike Ross commuted one day a week to Harvard Law,
you
you
know,
might not
how
remember
much
that?
emphasis are we actually going to put? So now, Harvey's going to cross-examine. The main objective of the cross-examiner is to put doubt into the jury's mind.
Right, okay.
Okay, so take the story that we've just heard and just fill it with holes.
Right.
That's what Harvey's doing now.
Right.
Maybe it would, but you'd lie through your teeth about it anyway, wouldn't you?
Objection.
Mr. Evans, isn't it true that you're a longtime drug dealer?
So she's just said objection, and you have to allow the judge to comment on that.
I thought that, yeah.
Okay?
Because sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, so the judge then... she's saying to the judge, objection.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she didn't give a reason. We'd have to give a reason here. Mm-hmm. It's a leading question, or, you know, whatever it might be.
Just objection.
And then the judge will decide if it's sustained or if it's overruled.
Okay.
So in other words, if it's sustained, I'm going to allow the question.
Yeah.
I suppose what's happened there is Harvey didn't wait for an answer. He just accepted
his objection.
And he went on.
Okay.
The important thing, though, in cross-examination is it's been asked. So even though the witness hasn't answered it, the jury are going, oh, what would he have said actually if he'd have answered it? And that's the whole point of the cross-examination.
So if say she says objection there, and then the judge then goes, yeah, you're right, that
sustained.
Sustained.
Yeah. Or, overruled, yeah.
Can the judge go to the jury, right, ignore what he just says?
Absolutely, absolutely. But will they?
Maybe not.
It's out there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
And your testimony today is only happening because you signed a deal with Miss Gibbs giving you immunity?
Doesn't mean I'm lying.
There
because
we go.
you wouldn't lie just to get out of going to
I
prison.
mean, that right there.
No, I would not.
So again, he's saying that I've done a deal with, because he's obviously in some trouble.
Yeah.
He's done a deal to then get full immunity. I mean, if that's it, that's the case gone, isn't it?
I mean, surely with something like that, if that's in the public eye, she would have known that's going to be the case. Like in reality, that's quite, for me, it seems like quite an easy.
Yeah, absolutely. And had she done her job well, she would have covered that off in evidence in chief.
Right,
She would have said, okay, and you yourself are facing some charges, blah, blah, blah. And it's true, isn't it, that you have got immunity from those. However, has that influenced any of your answers today? And you'd cover it off. So the jury know what's coming.
Okay.
But obviously it hasn't for the drama.
And Harvey's gone in.
Well, how about if the other reason was to get back at someone you've been jealous of your entire life?
I've never been jealous of Mike Ross in my entire life.
And I just caught you in a lie.
Objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Evans, my next move is going to be to call Jenny Griffith to the stand. And she's going to testify that you lied to her for years about dealing. When she found out about it, she left you for Mike Ross.
Objection, badgering.
She's also going to say that you were jealous of his mind your entire life. And when you found out that she left you for him, you were as jealous as a human being can be. Now, is that true or not?
Your Honor.
Let me rephrase. Is Miss Griffith going to be perjuring herself, or are you?
Yeah, I was jealous of him.
Boom.
Oh, nicely done.
And if he lied about
If
all
only
of
it were that
what's
easy.
the next thing? Then he wasn't lying about everything else.
No, that's a mic drop.
Yeah, literally. So do you think, I know you've never done it in America, but do you think they are this dramatic to kind of sway across everything in the States?
I think, yeah, I mean, look, the Americans are a lot more out there than we are, aren't they? That's not a criticism, that's just an observation. I think the British are slightly more reserved.
Yeah.
So I think, and the fact that they can get up and walk around, and we're more contained in our courtroom.
The courtrooms look like this?
The criminal ones do. So the public can come into a criminal courtroom, but in family it's completely closed.
Okay.
In commercial it's completely closed.
Right.
Whereas I'm not sure. And of course in America it varies from state to state.
Yeah.
So within different states there are different rules that apply as well.
So this one is Mike fights for some respect from Robert Zane.
Okay.
Suzanne, you scheduled this hearing. We've been waiting 10 minutes. I'm not waiting any longer.
Well, you don't have to, Your Honor. My motion.
Can you be late like that and that's accepted?
No, I mean, generally in England, everybody is there. The clerk will then say, are we all ready to go? I'm now going to call the judge.
I was going to
in.
say,
you wouldn't get the judge in and,
Wait
the lawyers aren't at the table. That's just bad manners.
Is here?
Better get up here fast.
And the fact that he just saunters in,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You'd be running because
Yeah.
you don't want to pee the judge off.
Had something to do. Yeah, well, whatever it was, I hope it's worth almost losing this case over.
Motion to expedite trial. I thought this was a hearing on their motion to dismiss.
Well, if you expedite our trial, that takes care of it.
What does expedite mean?
Move it quickly.
Oh.
In other words, go straight to trial without all the preliminaries.
Okay.
Move it fast.
Dismissed. Your Honor, they just got this case 2 days ago. They're using the timing of our client's contract expiration to try to shake us down.
I have to say, Mr. Zane, I find it hard to believe that in 2 days you found out enough to know you need an expedited trial, let alone care about these people at all.
Your Honor, 4 years ago, a mail carrier named Stanley Powell felt tightness in his chest. He thought it was nothing, but his wife insisted he go to the hospital. When he got there, doctors couldn't find anything wrong, but they wanted to keep him for one.
Does he not normally have to stand up?
You would, again, out of respect. If you're addressing the bench, you always stand up.
Right,
always. Yeah. I mean, I would never dream of staying seated when addressing the bench.
Judge.
But let's remember, I don't know what series we're on, but is Mike a lawyer yet? He's not been trained at the bar, has he? So
I think he is because
is he?
he's not quite a partner, but
Okay.
he's definitely, is it an associate? Is that a lawyer?
Yeah. So an associate is almost like a baby solicitor.
Right.
if you
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
Extra day. Now, unfortunately, Kelton Insurance refused to pay, so Mr. Powell went home, crawled into bed, and 1 day later he was dead. In front of you, you have a complaint that's over 5,000 pages long, which tells the stories of another 189 victims. Pick a page at random, tell me the number, and I will tell you exactly what their client did to them.
It's like Aaron Brockovich.
Your Honor, are you actually buying that?
Would she do it?
I think because obviously she's been asked to expedite the trial.
Right.
and they've only had 2 days to gather evidence. And she's like, really, guys, have you really got that much evidence in 2 days? And the insurance company are going, absolutely not. You know, their application is a motion to dismiss. They want to dismiss everything. So if Mike stands up and says, yes, that document there will prove we've got enough evidence and we've gathered it all in 2 days, she's going to test that out.
Right.
She's been asked to make a decision.
627, Mr.
Lawrence Green, 63-year-old grandfather, admitted to St. Vincent with complaints of lower back pain and excessive weight loss. He thought it was stress. Turns out it was lymphoma. Only they didn't find out until it was too late because their client refused to pay for the MRI. So please, rule against us if you have to, but don't tell me we don't care.
Motion for expedited trial granted. Jury selection starts Monday.
Jesus.
Done.
Huge.
Done. Big mic drop, so they won their case. And again, if only it were that easy.
Yeah.
The other side would be allowed to
Come back.
give some evidence and come back, and clearly, you know, for the drama.
Do you have like because that seemed a very short case of where they walk in, they do something, and then moving the trial back. Like, is that common as well? Just to have everyone comes together for like 10 minutes and then they depart?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, for a directions hearing, absolutely. Sometimes the court, I did a hearing last week. The 2 lawyers were at court and both clients were at court, and the judge had a point of law that he wanted to discuss and asked to see me and the other solicitor, not with the clients in the room.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, you can have 5 or 10 minute hearings just to satisfy something, because the judge isn't always aware of exactly what it is you're asking for.
Yeah.
And of course, they are the ones that, you know, have the decisions to make, so the responsibility rests with them. So absolutely, you can have a very quick hearing. You can even get a quick telephone hearing with the judge sometimes. It doesn't warrant everyone going to court. So yeah.
All right. Brilliant. Done.
Okay.
That's it.